Coneheads.
Coneheads. Coneheads. Coneheads.
Oh, Bert, what just happened? Well, crepes. Can't read this. Oh, Bert, what just happened? Okay, where's my volume controls? I haven't got my glasses on, so I can't see.
Well, take your glasses.
There, I got it now. All right. I can't see anything. Who's that? Can't. Can you read? All right. Oh, Yeti's here. Hello. We'll just wait for other people coming. Can you see who's on? I can't see without my glasses.
Yeti.
Yeah. Oh, Yeti. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, we do look lovely, don't we? Today, Stephen and Walter Live are being brought to you by Matilda Mudslinger and Gladass Happy Bum. I'm going to see if anybody else is joining us here in a bit.
Want a magnifying glass?
Well, I can't see things up that close. If it was 12 feet away, I'd have no problem.
Yeti says very
Yeti.
nice.
Yes, these were our Halloween costumes this year.
Part of them.
Well, part of them. Actually, I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a few minutes once we get a few more people on here. If we're going to get anybody else. I wonder if the notification went out today.
It says 5 or something.
4.
Says 6.
I've got 4 there. How many are there?
According to me, I've got 6.
Oh. Oh, Bonnie's here.
Bonnie's
Hi,
here.
Bonnie.
Hello.
And we'll just give everybody else another couple of seconds here to see who else joins us.
Yeah, Bonnie says yes, it did go out.
Oh, okay, good. You never know with YouTube whether these things go out or not.
Oops.
Good shot. So, yes, to let you know what we're drinking today. You're having real trouble with that, aren't you? What are you doing? There. Okay. Got that settled around. What's it say? How many we got now? Well, anyways, just as we wait for more people to come on, we can tell you a little bit about why we're wearing these. We went to a Halloween party on Friday night, and this is just part of our outfit. We went as waitresses, or the hostesses with the mostest. So we had 50s dresses with aprons that I embroidered our names on, which are Matilda Mudslinger and Gladass Happy Bum. And we had other accoutrements to all of this. And if you want to see what the whole thing looks like, tomorrow on my vlog, I will have a little video clip showing what the whole outfit looks like. So, we may have scared everybody away when they saw this come up on the preview. I don't know. But anyways, so we'll just wait here another couple of seconds. We are having very fancy hors d'oeuvres today. Yes, you may wonder what these are. Well, they are French. They are French hors d'oeuvres.
They are French.
They are crepes avec les pickles and cheese. And what's cheese about? Fromage. Actually, what they are leftover pancakes from this morning that I put some cheese slices on and stuck a couple of pickles on. Everything goes good with crepes. How do they taste? Like a crepe with cheese on and pickle.
Yeah, it's all right.
Well, it's a good way to get rid of your leftovers.
Actually, it tastes better than I thought they would.
Well, how can you go wrong? It's a stupid pancake with cheese slice. Ghetto hors
She
d'oeuvres.
says they can't see them.
Can't see them? There they are. Aren't they pretty? Recipe forthcoming. Yeah. A little dry, but maybe I should have put a little pickle juice on them. That might have helped. So who else is here? Anybody else?
Well, it still says 6. So I guess we might have scared a few people away.
Maybe we did. Oh well. We're going to have to take these off because I can't see what I'm doing. Ooh, scary.
You can put them on later if we get more people.
Yeah. We'll preview them then. Okay. So, let's just talk first of all before we get to the main topic of discussion today. I'm hoping more people join us because I think today's discussion is going to be very controversial, to say the least. And we are drinking, well, it's not really champagne, it's Prosecco. So, what's been happening? Update on my mother. She's fine. Still giving me a headache. Nothing really new to talk to you about her. Just that she did vote last week, and I mentioned that I think on my... Did I mention that on the vlog? We had the election this past week, didn't we?
Maybe you should point the camera down again.
Oh, what? It's too high? Let's see here. That better?
Yeah.
We had to put it up higher for the hair, for our little wiggy things here. So anyways, my mother voted on Monday, and she doesn't know who she voted for. She thinks she may have voted for the party I didn't want her to vote for, and she probably did that despite me. And she was supposed to get a flu shot last Tuesday, but that didn't happen. I don't know if she's had the flu shot yet or not. In fact, I forgot to ask her about that when I called her the other day. Again. No, I did ask her about that.
Yeah, and she said she did.
Yeah, she did get it. She did get it.
Hi there. Oh, you missed her head.
Oh, Sudi Q's here. Well, we'll put on our heads in a minute. So, yeah, she's fine. I don't know.
Was her snacks or leftover pancakes with cheese and pickles on them?
Yeah, real exotic. So anyways, that's my mother. So this Halloween dance that we went to, here, Andy, we'll show you what our heads look like. Oops. That probably made a noise. Drag the microphone. Ooh, my hair is not right. Okay, so this is just the top part. As I was telling everybody earlier before you got here, we were waitresses. We have 50s dresses with crinolines and the whole bit. And you can see the whole look if you check out my vlog tomorrow after it's posted, because I will have a, I will have a little video clip of us before we went out to this dance. So anyways, it was fun.
Oh my God, they're hysterical.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you see the whole outfit. The whole outfit is quite the thing. So, yeah, so talking about the Halloween dance, it was a man's dance. So we went to that and dressed up, and we won first prize. We didn't even know there was a prize this year. Last year, they didn't have a prize. So, yeah, we won first prize this year. And I think our prize consisted of a couple of gift certificates for some local restaurants, which was nice, and $20. But we don't.
That was the door prize, the $20.
Oh, was the $20 door prize?
Yeah.
I thought those little things we got that would hang on the glass.
Yeah, but that's the door prize. Remember, I won the door prize.
Oh.
They drew a ticket.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So, anyways,
yeah, we won first prize for that. We had a couple of gift cards, but then we also won the door prize.
Actually, and that was $20 and some little of those, some weird looking little things that I guess you put on the side of your wine glass if you're at a party, so you know whose wine glass you've got or what wine glass you have. And they were little guys wearing bathing suits with their names printed across their rear end. I don't know where they got these, but anyways, but we donated the money back because the two guys that put this on, they do it out of their own pocket, and there weren't a lot of people there.
And we think they sort of go in the hole.
Yeah, we think they kind of go in a hole on the cost of it, even though they charge like an admission at the door of $10 a person. But they have a disc jockey and they have a guy that's the bartender, and I think they have to pay him. And I don't think they make a lot of money. Well, they don't do this to make money, but you know, I think they would like to break even at least on it. So we thought, well, we donate that money back to them, as little as it was. But I mean, I suppose every little bit helps. Besides, we'd already won first prize for the costume, so don't want to be greedy about it. So yeah, it was. There were some interesting costumes there, some very rude ones too, but we're not going to talk about those at it. But it was okay.
And actually, a bunch of the guys, one of the guys bought a sewing machine last year, and he's been into trying to make garments and stuff. So he put together. It's too bad we didn't have our cameras with us.
Yeah.
He put together because we left our phones in the car because we didn't have anything to carry them in, and so he put together these costumes that were ABBA.
Yeah.
4 guys all dressed up as ABBA, and they did a song.
They did Waterloo.
Lip sync to Waterloo, yeah.
It was
and
hilarious.
They did a really great job.
Right, they did a really good job of it, but they've been practicing for this. They've started preparing for this like last May, apparently. But it was quite funny. So, yeah, I wish I'd taken my camera in so I could have. Those suckers are dry.
Yeah.
And got it onto video. But anyways, it was a lot of fun. So that's what we did. And I had my first new sewing class last Monday. And this week, I have that sewing class plus another one the next day. So I've got 2 sewing classes. You're not taking any right now, are you?
No.
But Walter's busy making bags on his own. Yeah, he's become the bag queen.
I'm not getting too far. I've been busy doing other stuff too, so.
Well, it hasn't been cleaning up that room, but that's for sure. Looks like a bomb went off in there.
Well, that's because I was busy trying to trap a chipmunk this week.
Oh, yes, and that's the other thing. We had new pets shortly. We had a couple of chipmunks that decided that they might like to make a home in our garage for the winter. So tell them what you did. What did you do?
Well, what did I do?
Well, you try to get rid of them because chipmunks are very, very cute, but they're also very, very destructive, apparently.
Well, anyway, we had an animal trap that we've had for years, but I've practically never used it.
A live animal trap.
Yeah.
Humane trap.
And
Hi, Cindy.
I baited it, but I went to the exterminator and asked them about it too. And they said, well, that trap isn't really good for animals that size because, well, for one thing, the holes are kind of big in it.
They can get out.
And they're not heavy enough to trigger it. So I ended up buying another trap on Amazon, which is another humane trap. Within about 10 minutes, I got little sucker. Wow. And took him for a ride. Relocated him to another area far, far away from us. And he's going, well, the poor thing won't know where he is if he's somewhere else. Well, all they'll do is run back in the garage again, idiot.
They're so cute. They're so fluffy.
Yeah, I know, but they're destructive.
Yeah, apparently they're very, very destructive. But anyways, we only got one of them. We thought there might have been 2, although you read on the internet that they're kind of loners.
Yeah, well, there was 2, and how I kind of noticed that they were as I was walking out the front door a couple of times and noticed one skirting across the front step. And I just thought, oh, well, he's in the garden. But this time I walked out, and there's a little tiny space between the soffit and our brickwork into the garage. And they managed to get into that little tiny space.
Well, they're like mice. They can flatten themselves right down.
One came out and looked at me and started chirping at me like, get out of here type of thing. And there was one right behind it. So I thought there was like 2 in the garage. Now, mind you, I put out some mouse poison as well. And that disappeared too. So I wonder if the other one ate the mouse poison.
I think they're out there passing them around to the other chipmunks. Here, try some of this.
But one I caught, the other one I didn't. Maybe the other one's dead somewhere.
Well, maybe. Have you gone back up in there to look in the eaves to see if there's a carcass?
No, I did, but there isn't anything there.
Well,
Well, anyway,
anyways.
I want to seal that part off because I didn't want to seal it off before I caught them because then I'll trap them in the garage and they don't, unless I open the door.
Well, the way we got suspicious was about a week or so ago. I opened. Oh, now I've got the hiccups. I opened up the garage door to take my car out, and there was a nut, like a tree nut, sitting there behind my car. And I thought, oh, what's this doing here? So I kind of kicked it out down the driveway, kind of a thing. Didn't think anything more of it. And then earlier this week, I opened up the garage, and there's the same nut. It looked like the same nut. Might have been a different one, but looked like the same type of nut sitting in the same spot. And I thought, so I got Walter. Did you put the nut back in the garage? I mean, I knew he hadn't, but I mean, he goes, no. And I said, oh, somebody did or something did. And then he saw the chipmunk, and that's the rest of the story. So they're so cute, though.
I mean, we've had mice out in the garage before because the house that we've got was now 25 years old, but it was built on an old farmer's field. So
well, we also have a forest behind us.
yeah,
so,
we have a forest behind us.
So really, we get all kinds of vermin.
I mean, I
hanging
drove
here.
in one day a couple of years ago and found what I thought was a black cat on
Oh,
our front
yeah.
porch, but then I realized the black cat had a big white stripe down the back.
Yeah,
so,
here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Spray.
So I thought, well, I better wait in the car until it decides to leave because I didn't want to get sprayed.
They're supposed to make nice pets too if you get them descented.
Yeah, well.
But they're so fluffy too. Too bad they're little stinkers. But anyways, that was our little adventure with the wildlife today. And of course, we had the election this week, federal, and yeah, pretty much worked out the way we thought it would. Not the best way, but we did get the liberals, who we want to be are in power, but they have a minority government. But they're not that many seats short of a majority. Of course, the conservatives, the assholes that they are making up the official opposition. But the NDP, they only got about 23 or 24 seats. But if they side with the liberals on any of the big issues that they try to pass through, they can get things passed through. See how that is. They'll have to talk nice to the NDP, the liberals will. Minority governments oftentimes don't get a lot accomplished because they're a minority. They depend on the opposing parties to vote with them to put things through. And of course, the conservatives are not going to vote for anything the liberals put up. It wouldn't matter what it is, because it's all point of principle. They'll spend most of their time trying to get a non-confidence vote against the liberals. A non-confidence vote in our government means that if it passes, there's another election. Because it basically says that, everybody except for the party in power don't have any faith in them, and they vote them out of power. But then they have to go through an election again, and that has happened in the past. So, but we'll see what's going to happen right now with all this kind of thing. So, anyways,
Bonnie says, I wish Scheer would resign.
Yeah, he won't. There's no way he'll ever resign. If he had lost, if the Liberals had come in and gotten a majority government, there was talk that they might, the Conservative Party might look at replacing Scheer with a new leader. And there was a woman in the Conservative Party who's got a very good reputation as far as conservatives are concerned, and has done a lot, that they said might be the possibility for, taking over. Or was that the Liberals with, what's her name, the Freelander, whatever her name is,
No, that's Freelander, yeah, you're thinking of.
Yeah, oh, maybe that is. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was, no, I don't think it was a conservative.
No, because conservatives don't believe in having women in their party.
Well, they don't have a lot of women in
No.
their party, and it seems like they don't really give them a lot of.
Well, they don't.
I mean, they give a few women, I guess, token women, seats in their party.
Yeah, Bonnie says Rona Ambrose would be great. I don't know who she is.
Okay, I have to look at that.
Yeah, that one, I've not heard of her.
I have heard of her, but I can't picture who that is.
But the problem with the conservatives is they're so sexist anyways, they would never want a woman leading their party. There was once, Kim Campbell, way back.
Yeah.
She only managed to become prime minister for...
Yeah, but that was only because I can't remember what happened. There was a reason, like she wasn't voted in. She was.
Yeah,
she took over.
She took over. Well, was it because what's his name? Joe Clark.
Yeah.
No, Joe, was that his name?
Joe Clark. Yeah.
Didn't he step down because of some reason?
Yeah, or some reason.
I can't remember what that was.
And she took over.
Yeah, that was way back in the early 90s.
Yeah, what did you do your finger?
Which finger?
This one.
That's the one I cut with the rotary blade.
Okay.
That's what it looks like. Ugh. Yeah, really. Okay, so anyways, so the aftermath of the election, well, we don't know yet what's going to happen. The only thing is now the Conservatives at the provincial level, led by our little Dougie Ford, or Mini Trump, he has stayed away. He hasn't had the provincial legislature, meet in 5 months. He cleared out for the federal election because...
I think he was told to.
Well, he was told to by Scheer and by the federal Conservatives because he does not have a good reputation in our province. And he now has called the legislature, now the federal election's over, back in for Monday to seat. And it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with him. Whether he has got the idea that possibly people don't like him in Ontario, because actually the Liberals in Ontario gained one more seat than they had in last election. So Ontario is very...
And they knocked out a fairly powerful Conservative female.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the few Conservative females that actually seems to have a brain. And had been there for a long time, too. Mm-hmm. She's no newbie to politics. So we'll see what he's going to do.
We'll see what happens.
But on the horizon, and that's what's newsworthy this week, he's already started to sort of back down from the teachers. He was talking about raising class sizes, a humongous raise. He's sort of gone back on that now because the teachers are now gearing up for a strike, the high school teachers, and, the elementary as well, for that matter, too. But he's been throwing them a bone, but they're not buying it because it's smoke and mirrors, I guess, apparently, what he wants to do. Yeah, he says he's going to drop the class size numbers down again, but there's something else where they're still going to lose over the next few years, like over 5,000 teaching positions as well, so which will make classes go up anyways. So on paper, they look like they're not being increased by much, but in reality, they are. I know, I've lived through that.
Yeah, and you know what's weird is like the way the schools are designed now, the classrooms aren't big enough to hold that many students.
Yeah, they're not physically big enough to hold that many students. Actually, you should see students' desks in schools.
My God.
In the new schools, especially, this new furniture and the whole bit, they're not big enough. I had grade 12 boys who literally could not fit in a desk. It's a chair and a table. And they're built more like for people in grade 6. They can't fit in them. I mean, kids today are large, okay? And grade 12 boys, a lot of them are really large. Like you're talking, a lot of those kids are 6 feet tall. And, they weigh like 180 pounds or more and that. And they're not fat. They're just big.
They're tall.
And tall. Must be all the additives in the food.
Well, like I went in the new school, that one new school in Brooklyn and was touring it. Like, I'm not a teacher or anything. I'm not usually in a school. But I was looking at the desks and I was thinking, oh my God, these are small.
Mm-hmm.
And
classrooms are very small.
And aren't some of the classrooms, the desks need to be shared and stuff too?
Yeah, some of them have tables, supposedly, which are supposed to be the size of 2 desks. Well, they're not. They're really only big enough for 1 kid.
Yeah.
On it. And then they got their books out and everything like that. There's no room for these kids to work.
Or a lot of the kids now have laptops. A lot of these schools.
Yeah. Hi, Tracy. I didn't get the notification. Not my fault. Sorry. You have to make sure that when you click on the bell, wait for it. There'll be a notification will come up, and there's about 3 tiers of levels, and it's a toggle. And if you don't you have to make sure it says get all notifications. That's the best I can do for you. Help it. Lots of people are complaining about
YouTube
this.
updated last week.
Yeah.
Probably, we've been having trouble. We watch Apple TV we watch some stations through Apple TV a lot, right? And instead of using the smart functions on our TV. But anyway, Apple gets an update and it resets all my settings when it does an update. And all of a sudden, Apple's not doing what it was doing before, and it changes the resolution, changes all kinds of other stuff, and I have to go back in and set all that stuff up again. Great deal. It doesn't. It does great that it's doing an update, but it screws up all the settings, and all of a sudden you're trying to figure out. And even with the TV set being a smart TV, it does an upgrade too. And I have customized picture settings on it, and all of a sudden the picture looks a little weird to me. So I go into the customized settings, and they're all back to the way the what do you call it, the default were.
Well, or Alexa decides to change things. Uh-oh. Did you turn off Alexa?
I don't think I did.
Oh no, she's there. She's listening. All these smart devices, I call them all
We've got her
stupid devices.
Her set up to access the stereo, but then all of a sudden she decides out of the blue to turn on the stereo on us.
Yeah, she doesn't like the channel you're listening to or something, so she likes to turn it off. She's kind of picky that way.
Or right in the middle of when we're talking about something and we don't even say her name.
Yeah, she joins in the conversation.
Yeah, she suddenly starts saying something.
So, Tracy, weren't you the one that said you've got yours up in the attic? I think I understand why.
Well, we got her on a switch. If she starts turning the stereo on, I shut her back off again.
Switch off the switch, but geez, stupid things.
I hate it. We're not technologically that stupid, right? I hate to see what people that aren't as technology oriented as we are, how they handle stuff.
Yeah, Bonnie says my son's Alexa will follow commands from TV shows. Well, yeah, you say her name, and she will come in. She's listening. She's always listening. Aren't you, Alexa? Yep, there she is, listening away. So anyways,
I wish you could customize them so that they have a different wake-up name that you can say, like Bit or something.
Well, you can change the name to Echo, you can change the name to Dot, but that's you can Echo
computer
and computer. Those are the and
Alexa. Computer's stupid because everybody says the word computer over and over.
Yeah, well, I've got my one little Echo one downstairs, and it sits in my sewing room, and I'm watching YouTube videos, and someone will say computer on it, and it'll come up and go, I don't know that, or something like that, or say, oh, this is what I found on Wikipedia. So, anyways, modern technology.
Well, I think the reset would be just to delete your app on your phone or whatever that you've got it connected to for her.
Well, what would that do?
Well, it doesn't give her access to. The reason you have access through the internet is you got to set it up through the app on the phone or something. So if you Prezi says I need to see if there's a reset button so I can donate it to Goodwill.
Oh. Yeah, I think, you can wipe her out.
Yeah.
But you have to do it from an app on your phone or your iPad or something like that, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
When she starts turning the stereo on, what I end up doing is the only thing I can get it to fix that is it has a skill learned to run the stereo. And what I do is I get rid of that skill and then put it back in again.
Put on your head.
Okay.
Because Tracy and Cindy have not seen our Halloween costumes, or this bit of our Halloween costumes. There we are. Aren't we cute? Ain't we cute? Just divine, just divine. So other people that were on here earlier got to see this when they first tuned in to us, but this is what we wore Friday night to Halloween party.
That's what Prezi says.
What'd she say?
Ha 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 ha.
I can't read anything because I don't have my glasses on, real glasses.
I can.
But anyways, as I told other people, you can see the whole outfit. We were waitresses from the 50s, sort of a thing. They'll all be on my vlog tomorrow when that comes on.
What did you do with those trays?
They're away. They're
Okay.
way up on top of the counter downstairs. So,
Actually, we had these trays with beer cans and
and drink
that,
glasses.
and
Ooh, I've got fuzz coming at me.
Nairi says, "Now I recognize you both."
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, I made these 2 serving trays, and I glued down the cups and beer cans and a wine glass and stuff to them. And I put a little strap underneath it so nothing would fall off. I glued them down with Gorilla Glue, right? Well, we had them sitting on our table at this party, and
the server came around, and the bartender came around, and he started trying to
pick it up, the thing, and they were going to say, no, those are attached. We came with those. A couple of times, a couple of people tried that, which was kind of funny. So anyways, moving on, talked about Ford, the election and whatnot. Speaking of TV, I've been watching, he hasn't, an interesting show that's on Netflix. It's called Raising Dion. And this kid ends up with he has these powers. And he can do a lot of different things, but he doesn't know how to control them. So, and then there's a big mystery about, it's kind of a cross between it's really not a superhero kind of thing. It's more like Stranger Things in some ways. Because there's this figure they see in the lightning and in the rain, and then there's these rain people, they call them, that he can see, and others can see them too. And there's something ominous about to happen. I've only watched the first 3 or 4 episodes of it. I'm kind of getting into it. It's a little different than a lot of other shows. And then we watched a couple of movies on Netflix last week. If you like horror movies, try Eli. It's got a bit of a twist at the end. Didn't see that coming. I'm not going to give it away. But it's basically a kid who lives in a bubble. He's one of those kids, born with or acquired that disease that knocks out their immune system. So, like that movie they made many years ago, Boy in the Bubble, that kind of thing. But his parents take him to this private hospital where this doctor there has a cure for it, but basically she's doing some unsightly experiments on the kid. But then it gets really even weirder, and at the ending of it is a complete twist. You don't see that coming at the end. And another one that's kind of interesting is Shadow of the Moon. And this one's kind of interesting because there's this woman who appears every 9 years and kills several people. And it starts in 1988. Actually, it starts in 2024. And all you see is blown out windows in a skyscraper and a weird looking American flag. It's an altered American flag. It doesn't have all the stars. It only has sort of a circle of little sunbursts in that part where all the stars are in the American flag, and it's sort of floating down from this roof, and there's a lot of destruction outside. Then they go to 1988, and this guy who is a cop goes to a crime scene where several different people have been killed, and each one of them die very quickly. You don't see how they're killed, but they have 3 little holes in the back of their neck, and their brains have all gone, it's kind of gross, have all just disintegrated,
and they bleed out,
and bleed out
like an Ebola bleed out.
Kind of a thing. And so they're trying to figure this out. Then it skips to the next 9 years ahead, but we finally figure out that this woman keeps coming back every 9 years, and she's from the future, and she's assassinating certain people who are part of an underground anarchy group.
The whole thing away.
Well, not giving the whole thing, but she's after these ones that are supposedly an underground anarchy group that will have consequences for
the
future and the whole bit. Anyways, it's got a kind of an interesting twist to it, although I figured that one out by the time I got 3/4 of the way through it.
Well, I kind of figured it out too.
Oh, you didn't say anything. You just say you did. You didn't.
No,
you didn't. No, you didn't. You did that. You did not.
No,
you didn't. No, you always think. No, you didn't.
I knew.
You didn't know. You hadn't a clue. I'm surprised you even saw it because you're always buried playing your game on your iPad while we're watching a movie.
I would do multitasking.
There's no such thing as multitasking, and I don't know how you can possibly watch. That's like these women in my sewing class. They're always saying, "Oh yeah, I cut my fabric while I'm watching TV," and I go, "And you have your fingers? Really?" Or I do English paper piecing while I watch TV. Uh huh. How do you do that?
Well,
And
I
watch
think
TV?
it's probably because they're watching TV with their husband. Their husband has a football game on, and they don't have any interest in the football game.
Yeah. Okay, Bonnie says no fighting, kids. Hit him in the head. Anyways, so those are if you get Netflix, check out those two shows. They're pretty good. And I am
Sounds similar to Syracuse. That sounds similar to the Netflix series Travelers. The characters come from the future.
yeah, there's this song. I watched Travelers. I should have gone back and watched more of it. I liked that show, and then I think I watched the first season and a half. Maybe got to the end of the second season, and
I
then
think there's a new set.
well, there's been several. Since then. I should go back to it because I kind of like that show. That's what happens with Netflix. One of two things happens: you start watching a new show, and then something else comes on, and you get watching that, and you never get back to the other one, or
Mel's here.
you binge watch. Hi, Mel. Or you binge watch, and then they don't have another one for a year or something, and you forgot what the heck happened in the ones before. I guess that's modern video viewing these days. So, anyways, and I have now finally started. I've had it for a while, but I was trying to finish the Goldfinch book. They've made a movie of the Goldfinch. That was a really long book, and I'm not so sure if I really liked it or not. I thought I did, but I think it belabored it, and the way it ended was just stupid. It went all philosophical.
Well, don't go into telling people the ending.
Well, I'm not going to tell them the ending because I didn't understand the bloody ending. You'd have to sit there and analyze it, and this book won a Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah, well, isn't that always the case?
So
when the prizes are not.
So now I'm not sure if I really want to go to the show to see the movie. Actually, I think it's already been out. It may have gone by now.
So.
I think that's one of those things I can wait for on video, kind of a deal. But I've started Margaret Atwood's sequel to The Handmaid's Tale, The Testament. And so far, I haven't read that much of it yet, but I do love Margaret Atwood. Didn't always, but I do now. And actually, it's good. So far of what I read of it, it is good. But you have to have read The Handmaid's Tale, not just seen the TV series. You will have to have read The Handmaid's Tale, the actual book first, before you start reading the Testament. Because the Testament, you won't understand it at all if you haven't read it. And it's not enough just to see the television show. At least I don't think so.
John Bonnie said she was going to ask you about it.
Yeah. So that's my recommendation. So Bonnie, have you read The Handmaid's Tale, the original book, first?
I tried reading it. I'm not a reader, but I tried reading it, and I had a hard time reading it.
Well, it did have words that were more than one syllable, so that might have been a problem. And there aren't any pictures.
Yeah.
Walter read a book once. It was
I
read.
like reading technical manuals over reading books.
Okay. Okay, well, Bonnie, then I don't know if you've been watching the television series, you could probably understand the Testament. However, I think you would miss out on an awful lot because really
she hasn't read The Handmaid's Tale. That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I got that. That's what I said.
She just said that.
I know. She hasn't read The Handmaid's Tale. She said no up there. I got that.
Okay.
Jeez. Listen with your ears, silent with your mouth.
All right. Go ahead.
Jeez. Tracy says she enjoys autobiographies. Yeah, but can you trust an autobiography?
Yeah, I don't know. I've read a couple of autobiographies, and I don't know how accurate they are.
No. But anyways, we're off topic here.
Yeah.
The Testament, my recommendation is read, not just see the video. Read the actual first book first, then read the Testament. I think you'll get a lot more out of it if you do that. Now, I'm a little biased because I taught the Handmaid's Tale for many years to my seniors in high school. So I know that book like the back of my hand.
Sir Prezi says she's a Me Too survivor. So she says Handmaid's Tale's not for her.
Well, no, it could be traumatizing because it's brutal. I mean, actually, it's more brutal in the book than it is in the movie, the first movie they made of it, and in the TV series of it. Yeah, because Atwood's like that. Atwood doesn't, sugarcoat anything. She's very, very, I don't know what the word would be. She's not crude or coarse. She's very in your face, upfront, matter of fact, graphic, I suppose, graphic about it. So yeah, I could see that book might have an effect on you, Tracy. I was shattered after reading Loretta Lynn's autobiography after watching the movie. I don't know much about Loretta Lynn, but I know she's a country and western singer. And was she the one they did the coal miner's daughter, or was that somebody else? The one that movie that was it basic?
Yeah, wasn't she? If it's the one, if it's coal miner's daughter, and blah blah blah, and all the other stuff, she's
yeah, Tracy says yes.
She was like married or something, or at 13 or something.
Yeah, but she was abused
in
the whole bit, I think, and that. Nairi says Handmaid's Tale is confronting. Yes, it is. And Tracy says the movie was bully. I never saw the movie.
I saw it a long time ago. Yeah. I can't really remember it.
So anyways, we're going to move away from this topic about books and things and move into a carnivore's view of veganism. Now, Tracy, I am sure you know a lot about vegans, okay? And I'm not going to pretend that we know a lot about them, but I call this a carnivore's view of a vegan because, quite frankly, I think vegans are crazy. I said it. Oh my God, how Atwood. But I'm going to explain why, and we're going to talk about our views. And we don't agree on necessarily how we see this, so we may fight with each other, which means I have a pen and I'll just stab him through the eyeballs. So simple as that. So first of all, I want to say something right out front about carnivores. Okay, about us humans. We are meat eaters. We are animals. I am an animal. You are an animal. Walter's an animal. Maybe some of us are higher up on the animal scale. I don't know. But I like meat. Now, can I live without meat? No. Am I, though, one of those kind of people that wants, oh yeah, give me a great big 16-ounce steak, make sure the blood's running from it, because I'm going to eat that right up now, yup, with all the beer. No, I'm not like that. Okay? I can see the benefits of being a vegetarian to a certain degree. I think I need to eat more vegetables for health and things like that. But basically, I do like beef. I do like chicken. The fish are safe because I don't like seafood.
Presley's not vegan. But anyway, if humans were meant to be vegan, vegans wouldn't have to supplement with B12. Right?
Yeah, and I read some stuff on the internet today that it's not just B12 they have to supplement. There's a whole lot of stuff like protein and a whole bunch of other things too. And that it's very difficult for someone who is truly vegan to balance out their diet. Like, they really have to.
Yeah, but there's a difference between vegetarianism and veganism.
Yeah,
veganism is no animal products at all.
Yeah, but did I say that they were the same thing?
No.
There's carnivores, there's vegetarians, and there's vegans. And it's on a continuum according to meat, right?
Yeah.
Meat, vegetables, nothing that'll harm animals.
Yeah, like, I mean, I've met people that, and it seems to be women, I'm not sure why, I know more women like this, is that they'll say they're meat and potatoes girls. They don't eat any vegetables.
Yeah, but you know why they do that? They think if they go vegetarian or vegan, they're going to lose weight.
No, they're meat and potatoes girls. They only eat meat and potatoes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about...
They don't eat any vegetables.
Oh, well, those were lesbians.
Yeah, I know.
Well, they're a different breed altogether. That's totally different. They just...
No, I know, but that's not all lesbians. I know another one woman, Trish, that I knew years ago. She wouldn't eat any vegetables. All she would eat is meat and potatoes.
Okay.
She said she didn't like vegetables.
But that's not what we're talking about right now.
Okay, fine.
Okay, you're off my... I should have given you the show notes beforehand because you're just right off topic. Right here. Here, have some of that. Okay, so here's where I come from, okay? One, as humans, we need meat. As Tracy says, you don't get enough B12, all that kind of stuff, protein, other things. We need meat, iron, all that kind of stuff. Why do we need all that stuff? Because we are animals. We tend to forget that we're mammals. Sure, we're possibly a higher order animal. We're high on the food chain because nobody right now
We have incisors.
because nobody right now is eating us. Though, you know, we could be lower on the scale if we do make first contact out there and there's aliens come and they want to eat people. So we might be like the animals. The other thing is, I think it's our natural instinct to eat meat because we're carnivores. Simple as that. That's evolution. It hasn't been bred out of us yet to, maybe it will be someday. I don't know.
But yeah, I read that recently about making vegan meringues. You can make it out of the liquid and chickpeas.
Can of chickpeas, but sounds delicious. Well, that's the other thing. Okay, so also, this is where Walter and I was mentioning this earlier to him today, and he just thinks I'm crazy about this. By eating meat, we keep down the animal population. Now, okay. We domesticate animals for food, right? Cows, chickens, pigs, whatever kind of thing. So if we stopped eating them, then we'd have to stop domesticating them. But that would not stop them from being around. Well, maybe cows, because cows are kind of stupid. I don't think cows know how to live in the wild. Like, have you ever seen a wild cow? Well, wild bulls, I suppose. I don't know. Is there such a thing as a wild cow?
I agree with Prezi says, I just don't like it when they preach, she says.
Yes, I was going to come to that.
We're getting there.
All right? But I was just trying to set the groundwork here on this. Okay. The other thing is, the food that we eat in terms of, like, meat is a renewable resource. Because we have animal husbandry. We have spent centuries domesticating animals for food source. Livestock. When farmers have cows for beef, okay, they know how to raise them for that. It's a renewable resource. We're not going to wipe out the cows in the world. Like, how can we?
Well, that would
it's an industry.
That would assume that everybody in the world would become vegan.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. But that's what the vegans want. They want everybody
Some
to become.
Of them. I don't think all of them are like that.
No, but the ones we hear about and see about, they're the ones that are like that. Mm-hmm. And no, I think you're wrong about that. Have you ever met a quiet vegan?
Yes.
Okay, where?
I used to work with one.
How do you know they were quiet?
They were just telling me about their diet.
Right off the bat, they're already protesting. They're telling you about their diet. I don't feel any need to walk into a restaurant or sit down with friends and have dinner and declare, I'm a carnivore. No. But why do vegans have to turn around and dictate what you're going to serve them in your house? If you're my guest in my house, I mean, it's one thing if you've got an allergy, okay, right? I mean, if someone comes to the house and they say, oh, look, well, we'll often say, if it's somebody coming to our house for the first time for dinner, we will say, do you have any allergies? Or is there any kind of food you dislike? Okay, because I would tell people, if they asked me, I said, I don't have any allergies to food, but I'm really not fond of seafood or fish. Okay? So, vegans, though, make it like, oh my God, you're going to serve meat in my presence? Like, okay, I can make you something vegan. I mean, I've done it for people with gluten stuff.
Yeah, well, then you get the problem where
I don't invite them again, but I've done it once.
One of the ladies we go to dinner with all the time, she's vegetarian and she's gluten-free.
Oh, she's just a vegetable. That's what she means. She's just a vegetable.
It's always a pain in the butt to try and figure out.
Yeah, and, well, let's see, back up here. Yeah, and Tracy says she doesn't like it when vegans preach. And they do preach. You show me somebody you know, and then you're out the restaurant, well, I'm a vegan. They're preaching. Right then and there. Because it's the way they say it. They say, well, they don't say, I'm sorry. I'm a vegan? No, they said, I'm a vegan. Excuse me? That tone would imply that you're right, everybody else here is wrong. And what, don't you have somebody that you know that's a vegan or was a vegetarian who picked a restaurant, and I said, well, why that restaurant? Because do they have a lot of stuff on the menu they can eat?
Actually, she picked the one that was Julie. She's the one that is vegetarian and gluten free, and she picked one restaurant which has a lot of meat items on the menu, right? And I was looking at the menu when we were there, and I said, Julie, you like this restaurant, but I don't see a lot of things on this menu that you can eat. Right? And she goes, no, there's only one thing on the menu I can eat, and she says, well, I happen to like that here, but that's the only thing she said, that it's a real carnivore place to eat. But she doesn't really protest. Like, she's not really as whiny as some of them are. Like, some of them won't, if you go out with them, they don't even want to sit across from you if you're eating meat.
How old is she?
She's our
Is
age.
she our age?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, first of all,
But I think in her case, it's a diet issue. She feels that it's adding too many calories to her diet.
well, okay, then let's talk about the foods that vegans can eat. Of course, when I did a search under veganism or vegans today on the internet, the first 5 entries that came up under vegan were all ads for products for vegans. So there is a huge, or the beginnings of a huge market out there for vegans. And so we have companies that make this Beyond Meat thing that's happening. Now that's something here in Canada. I don't know if it's...
Well, that's US too.
Yeah. And so like A&W, for example, which is a fast food hamburger joint here in Canada, they have announced that they have a Beyond Meat burger. And when they first brought it out, they couldn't keep it in stock. Well, everybody wanted to try it.
They
because
have a Beyond Meat sausage patty.
Yeah. And there's other Beyond Meat products too. So I decided I would try one of these just to see. Now, in my mind, before I knew anything about it, I'm thinking, well, if it's plant-based, it's basically vegetarian, then it's probably lesser calories and probably better for you than eating a piece of beef, right? Wrong. I looked at the nutritional information about it. 50 calories more than in their regular hamburger. How much salt was in it? It was like your daily,
really high sodium.
like your whole daily dose of salt in one burger. Absolutely no minerals, vitamins, anything in it. There was absolutely no nutritional value in this meat whatsoever. I tried one, and I want to tell you something. Actually, I liked it. I liked the taste of it. It did taste like beef, like hamburger, but there was something else about it that I kind of liked the taste of it. Now, I've only had it once. He's never had it. I'd like to try it again to see if I still have that same opinion of it. But it's 50 calories more than the regular one, a whole lot of salt, which my doctor's not really fond of me having any salt whatsoever. And no, there's no nutritional value.
He says they're full of chemicals. Yeah, they're highly processed.
Yeah.
And any nutritionist will tell you not to eat a lot of processed foods, right? So they're highly processed. I mean, I'm not saying that the burgers that you get aren't highly processed either, but I don't know. I personally don't think they're any better.
So I go back then to the vegans, the ones who are the quiet vegans, who I think might be vegan simply because they think it's going to be healthier and less calories. They're not going to gain weight. Then drop it up a notch. True vegans, from what I can see, extreme vegans, are the ones, they have a philosophical principle for why they don't eat meat. And the reason they don't eat meat is because you're killing a living creature to feed you. And that's our carnivorism in us. And that. And also they're all against the way the animals may be treated and this kind of thing. Now, when we were in Australia the last time, the vegans were having a huge protest. First of all, they had a big protest in Melbourne where in the middle of rush hour in the morning, they shut down the major intersections in the downtown city core. And there were quite a few of them there.
They even went into a famous steakhouse and like were disrupting the customers.
Yeah. And they don't just do it. They were doing that throughout our trip in Australia, going in and protesting while people are dining in expensive restaurants and things like that, trying to enjoy their evening out, and these guys come in. They were going and they were chaining themselves to farm equipment on farms and to abattoir institutions, to their equipment and things like that. So they couldn't, slaughterhouses, so they couldn't slaughter the animals, and they were interrupting the farmers in what they were trying to do, like feed their animals and things like that. Well, I have a problem with that. Problem is, it's one thing you have a philosophy and you've decided for yourself that because of this philosophy, you're not going to eat meat anymore. Okay, that's you. That's your decision. You have the right to make that decision. Go your merry way and do that. But don't walk into a restaurant that I'm dropping 200 fucking bucks on for a meal that night and disrupt me. You don't have any right to do that. I have as much right as you do to choose the food that goes into my body, right? So who are they to tell me what I can and cannot eat? 2, you're taking the livelihood from these people. You're disrupting their jobs, their work. Farmers don't make a lot of money to start with. So you're going in and disrupting them on any given day or for several days in a row. You're taking money out of their wallets, basically. They're trying to survive. Same with the slaughterhouses and the whole bit. This is not your right to do these things. These people making their livelihood from producing meat are legally in the right to do this. There are no laws telling them they cannot do this. So the Australian government, I have to admire the Australian government because they do things that other governments in the world, like our Canadian government, would be afraid to do. They don't give a crap about political correctness. They went in and they said, vegans disturb something, if they try this again, we will take them to jail and we will prosecute them under the full court, under every law that we have that they have violated from it. And you want to know something? I think they're right. I think they should do that for them because these people are disrupting other people's lives. They can protest. They can be downtown Toronto with their signs, at Queen's Park with their signs, the whole bit, saying,
Or advertise.
They can do that because other groups do the same thing. And within our country, that is perfectly legal. But when they walk into a restaurant, which is not a public place, a restaurant is actually a privately owned property that you have the right to go into if you're doing an exchange of business, i.e. you're paying for a meal there. You do not have the right, and you can be fined for trespassing when you come in and protest in said establishment. If you want to protest outside of it, you can do that because the sidewalk outside, at least here in Canada by our laws, is public property. So you can protest there as long as you're not hurting anybody, like physically. So, what's people saying here? Andy says, years ago I had a vegetarian burger. It was terrible with ketchup, but tasted great with salad dressing. Okay. Well, years ago...
Yeah, I don't mind those ones that they used to have, like, with the chickpeas and all that other stuff. I mean, they don't really taste like meat, but,
well, we used to buy those hot dogs, remember, that were vegetarian hot dogs and stuff. And there's always tofu.
But, I like the... remember we went to the Queen Mother Cafe in
Toronto, and
they had these vegan burgers.
Well, that was many years ago.
I know.
That was like 35 years ago.
They didn't really taste like burgers, but that was okay because it tasted...
Well, they had lots of spices in them, and I think they were ground up chickpeas or something and stuff like that. Well, that was okay, and that was because they advertised that they were vegetarian back in those days.
Yeah.
In fact, in those days, you never heard anybody say the word vegan at all. But that was 35 years ago.
Yeah.
Or longer.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have any problem going to a vegetarian restaurant.
No. We way back, many years ago when I first got diagnosed with a cholesterol problem, we decided to start eating less meat. So I looked up, I got a vegetarian cookbook and things, and I made different things out of it. And we were going meatless 1 or 2 nights a week at that point in time, but we were doing that for dietary reasons, or for diet, that kind of thing. And I can eat a meal that not every meal has to have meat, as far as I'm concerned, and that's fine. But the higher order vegans, I don't know if that's the right term for that, but the vegans who are vegans for the philosophy, it's about the animal cruelty. Well, here's another thing. You do see things on TV about, chickens being all hoarded into dark little coop thing where they're stuck in a little cage that they can't even stand up in to produce eggs and all this kind of stuff. And you have years ago, veal. Veal, the big controversy over veal was it was these little baby cows, under a year old, kept in cages, kind of a thing where they couldn't really move and fed nothing but milk.
Just so that the veal could be a light color.
A light color and better tasting. Well, they stopped that practice. Yes, that's cruel. That shouldn't happen. It's cruel to the chickens, too. And you see these ones with pigs in the transport trucks, and they're all piled in there on top of each other going off the slaughterhouse. Yeah, that's cruel. But a lot of legitimate businesses that are in this for their livelihood, they don't do this. They have humane treatment of the animals. Yeah, okay, so you're going to have a nice time while you're still alive there, chickie, but we're going to be cutting your throat later. But they're not all like that. In fact, I think the majority...
And I don't know, I think in some ways vegan... I'm not as uptight about vegans protesting that, protesting...
no, I think... Yeah, but it's the way they do it. It's almost like a cult in some ways.
Well, that's what Brizzy was saying.
Yeah.
That, what did she say?
I don't know. It's up. She said that
there's an agenda right now.
Yeah.
And I can't figure out what it is right now.
I think vegans right now are fighting a losing battle, and I think the way they're fighting their battle is not going to win them any awards. I don't think they're going to get a lot of people on their side. I mean, I think if anything, they might be doing themselves a disservice.
Yeah, and then if they want to make people get on their side, then they should be doing, like I said, more advertising and saying, letting people know the bad conditions and stuff like that for animals and stuff, so that people are more aware. Yeah. Right?
And that's okay. That's a good thing. It's like cosmetic companies who say, is it not Roots, but...
testing on animals.
Like animal testing. Body Shop. Body Shop says none of their cosmetic products or their skin things are tested on animals. Well, that's a good thing. The other thing then, I wonder, well, who do you test it on? Do you have a lot of people in cages or something that you're applying this stuff to? What about medical research? They experiment on animals, don't they? Well, that's another conversation for another day about all of that. I mean, if we're trying to help us, our species, something's got to be experimented on, right? I mean, yeah, if I had to stand there and watch a cow being slaughtered and cut up...
because the vegans have the old meat your meat.
Yeah, well, I've met my meat. I've seen cows before. I know where this food comes from. Not an idiot, but we are carnivores, so we tend to...
I suppose if you don't go out and kill it yourself, you don't really have an understanding of where your meat's coming from.
Well, doesn't it come down to the whole thing is it's either them or me, right? I'm higher on the food chain. So you're looking delicious, cow. Yum, yum, yum. Whatever. I mean, we just choose not to think about it. Vegans, I suppose, choose to think about it. But...
Well, actually, it's sort of like... I always thought it was funny. One of the ladies that worked with her daughter became vegan.
Hi, Shelley.
and she was having some real issues with her blood work and everything because of she wasn't getting enough nutrition and everything. But the other thing was is she was all about the environment, all about the animals and everything else, and she's always about the environment. And then she turns around. She was a young girl, and she was getting her first job and everything. The first car she bought was a gas guzzling Jeep, and I said, "Well, I thought you were for the environment." She goes, "Yeah, but I like these."
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, and that brings up the whole point of something I found really interesting, and I copied it out so I could read it to you, about what is vegan. Okay, so they don't eat meat. So that means, what are they going to eat? Well, they're going to have to eat vegetables and fruits and things like this. But then I found this. I was looking for a definition of vegans, okay? So, I found why bananas might not be vegan anymore. While this could be good news for some, no more hurrying to eat those mushy bananas you forgot about, the coating includes chestosane, a derivative of shrimp and crab shells. So if the coating reaches the banana, not just the peel, the fruit will no longer be considered vegan. I'm not sure what this coating is they're talking about. I don't know if this is something that is man-made and sprayed on the outsides of bananas, maybe to preserve them longer or something like that. But the point here that I'm making is that certain foods that you would assume would be vegan friendly may not be so vegan friendly. Also, do vegans go to the extreme? You said this. So they've got a Beyond Meat burger at A&W. Are they cooking that on the same grill that they cook beef burgers on? And if so, can vegans eat them? You know, like kosher Jewish people, have two kitchens kind of a thing, and you can't let, dairy products touch meat products or whatever goes on like that, and all that kind of thing.
Well, as the A&W does advertise, it says that these burgers are being cooked on the same griddle as beef burgers. But it depends on how extreme veganism is, like how extreme your veganism is. Like it's like kosher for Jewish people, how extreme their kosher is.
But the point is here. If you are vegan, there's no such thing as a halfway point. Okay? I mean, I'm a carnivore. But if I want to make other people feel better about the fact that I like meat, I say, oh, but I only eat chicken. Big deal. It's still meat. So what about vegans? What about eggs, right? Vegans supposedly, no, anything that comes from an animal. And the real extreme vegans won't even wear clothing. Like leather, for example, comes from animals, right? That kind of thing. They won't wear that. Well, in our society today, where so many things are manufactured, how do you know if something is truly 100% vegan?
Does it also include that they won't eat flies and flies?
Yeah, I guess if they're on a motorcycle and a fly flew in their mouth, would they spit it back out? Going down the throat? Would they gag? What? They may have killed the fly already. What about the fly squishing its guts on your bug screen?
Are insects considered vegan?
I don't know. Are insects animals? Well, it depends on how you use the term animal.
Figs cannot be trusted to be 100% vegan. Neither can white sugar, according to Prezi.
And honey isn't vegan. No, honey is produced by bees, right?
Yeah, but is vegan considered not from any living thing, or is other than plants? Or
well, that's the thing. And guess what? Do a search on the internet. You will not find an absolutely clear and definitive definition of it. So all these people out there protesting, I dare say that most of them probably really don't know truly what vegan is. I think it's just a souped up version of vegetarian. Tracy says, fake fur and fake leather is environmentally damaging. White sugar is bleached of molasses by bone char bone char. And boy, just too complicated for me. Why not just eat what you want? Yeah, exactly. I mean,
if you want to be more vegan and you want to eat less meat or something like that, or, you know,
well, if they could come up with a meat substitute that tasted exactly what we are used to in meat, did not have any effect on the environment, had all the nutritional value that you should get from something like that, that didn't harm any animals in any way, and was affordable or comparable to the prices we pay today for meat, I'd say I'd give it a shot. But they haven't been able to do that yet.
and not only that, it may become so extremely processed that it's not good for you anyway.
And then Tracy says I had tofu for breakfast. But is tofu vegan? Like, what is tofu? Besides gelatinous mass of white slimy stuff.
Soybeans, processed soybeans.
Okay, well, let's say, so when they fertilize soybean plants and the whole bit, if they use cow manure,
She said yes.
does that make it vegan or not vegan anymore? Because you're using a product from an animal to produce it.
So he says all this is too complicated for me. I just want to stick to a well-balanced diet. It's coagulated soy milk.
Sounds delicious. No.
Actually, I've had fried tofu before, and actually it kind of tastes like
I've had tofu in certain dishes, like Chinese food or something like that. And actually, if you don't know it's there, it's fine.
You don't know that it's tofu, it's okay.
But I would not go out and order a big bowl of tofu. Yum. No. Because actually, it doesn't really have any taste. It's whatever you add to it to give it the flavor. It absorbs stuff and whatnot. And speaking of vegan, guess what's in our oven right now and I can smell it cooking? A chicken! Yeah, it was dead. Whatever. So what else did I have here about? Bottom line is, I think a lot of vegans are a bunch of losers looking for attention. I do. I think that. Because you also look at the protesters for vegans, and they're one of two kinds. They're either very young, and the very young are really very stupid, or they are the 21st century version of hippies.
Well, actually, the vegan protest that they were having in Australia was led by this one guy, I can't remember the name. And it turned out what he was a convict that served time and was let out and was very heavy, and he became vegan to lose weight, and supposedly, obviously, he wasn't eating the fat vegan stuff. And went on this rampage, and now he's leading this big vegan movement in Australia. He's making lots and lots of money doing this. So it's a financial gain for him.
Well, yeah. Well, Tracy says, oh, that's harsh. I think they're all well-meaning, but it's a fetish. You want to know something? There's lots of people in our world that you can say are well-meaning in a variety of different categories out there, but the bottom line is you can be well-meaning, but you can also be stupid as well. And that's what I think they are. I just think they just didn't know what thing they want to protest this week, so there they go.
I don't know. I think I disagree that all of them are like that. I'd say that the ones that are doing the protest.
Well, okay, maybe I'm whitewashing, but
I'm just sort
of
thinking that there's a lot of people that are they just have this thing that they've decided that they're going to do, and that what it is they've decided they don't want to eat meat. So
Tracy's got a good one. Gas and petrol is made of dinosaurs. Can vegans use gas? Well, that's a good question. Yeah, they're dead though already, and nobody's cultivating them for food. So I don't know, but I mean the point is basically,
Yeah, that's a very good point. What products do? Where do you cross the line? Like where? where vegans, well, maybe they'll use diesel made from vegetable
Okay,
oil.
so I'm eating a pancake with processed cheese in the center of it. The pancake was made with processed flour, sugar, milk. Oh, sorry, there's milk in this. It's not vegan. There's cheese, but it's not real cheese. It's processed cheese. But there's, what do they call that thing? It comes from little piggy Strauters?
Rennet.
It's in processed cheese, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, oops, nope. Nope, this is definitely not vegan. So, and...
Yeah, well, cheese isn't vegan.
But there is vegan cheese.
Yeah, you can get vegan cheese. It's made
Well, what's in it? What's in
made
it?
of tofu or something.
Well, what else is in tofu?
Soybean curd.
And what else?
I don't know. I don't know.
There's
how to
probably
make-
other stuff in tofu. Fine, so I'm a crafter person, so I use fake fur. Is it producing more carbon offset than real fur?
Don't know.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I was thinking about it's one thing to eat the animals, something to skin them for their fur.
Yeah, I think that's a different issue. Because I agree. Nobody needs to wear a fur coat, a real fur coat. And actually, why does anybody want a fur coat anyways? They're so last century. I don't know. Where are
So we
you?
get into a whole new topic.
That's a whole new topic. Yeah, we'll save that for another time.
It's like my
But,
sister's old fur coat that she had, unshaved beaver.
yes, well, whatever. So, anything else? Okay, the bottom line for me about vegans is this. I'm sure there are some lovely people that are vegans. One, don't throw it in my face because I'm not doing anything wrong by eating meat. So, live and let live. If I want to eat meat, I can eat meat. If you want to eat tofu or whatever that's non-vegan, you go right ahead. I don't have a problem with it. If you come to my house for dinner and you want me to be aware of the fact you're vegan, then I will try to accommodate your culinary needs
As best as possible.
as best as possible. Okay? That's fine. If I come to your house and I know you're vegan, then I'm going to look at it as an exploration in what it's like to eat vegan. I wouldn't turn down the invitation. I'd look at it as an experience. Yeah, sure, fine. I don't have to have meat at every meal. And this might be really interesting. I mean, it's like the first time I tried Indian food kind of a thing. Never had it. Looked horrible. Loved it. Love it now. Because of
No,
that.
you're right. So what should rabbit meat manufacturers do with leftover
Pelts.
pelts? I mean, okay, fine. I guess that's more of a, it's sort of like using leather for stuff, right?
Well, we do waste.
But you don't go around and you don't, you might be able to get a rabbit fur coat, but you don't, I'm talking about like beaver fur coats and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
well-
And is it really necessary to slaughter beavers for? It's
Well,
not
is it
like
really
we have
necessary
beaver
to
steak.
slaughter rabbits?
Yeah, but what about chickens and
Well, you don't make a chicken coat.
no, but you use chicken feathers for stuff, and then you.
Well, do they?
I think they do. Oh yeah, they stuff pillows with them.
Not chicken feathers.
Sure they do.
No, goose down. And we don't.
Yeah, I don't tell me how many feather
Well,
pillows have.
we don't-
They say they're feather pillows. They
Well-
don't say that they're goose down.
Actually, most pillows that people buy anymore are like synthetic products
Yeah.
that are in it anyways. And anybody who thinks they really have to have a goose down or feathered pillow or that are just snots anyways. Because actually,
Well, yeah, they do provide a living to people, but then on the other hand, yeah, I suppose I don't know.
I don't think about it because I won't eat bunny.
I won't. I see. I mean, I'm the other part. I'm not vegan, but I don't think I'd buy a fur coat.
We bought a rabbit once from the grocery store many, many years ago. It was already skinned, dressed, ready to go. Pop it in the pan. So
I cooked it.
So he cooked it. He pulls it out of the oven. These little stubs that was legs, and it was laying on its back. Of course, it doesn't have a head or anything else. And I couldn't eat it because to me it looked like a chihuahua laying on its back. And I thought, nope, I can't eat this. I have had rabbit. I have had wild rabbit in my life and don't enjoy it. fact, the first wild rabbit I ever ate, I think, was in Quebec City, New Year's, 40 years ago, in a very expensive restaurant. And this was wild rabbit, and
We can't kill them.
And I was pulling buckshot out from him, so I wasn't too thrilled
Because
with
if you
it.
have Canadian goose in your yard, you'll get rid of them any way you can. However, I don't think we're allowed
You
to
can't kill
them.
the geese. It's against the law to kill the Canada, except during duck hunting season, and they have to be out in the wild. I have had goose. I have had Canada
Well, so
goose.
she says yes, you can. I guess you can. I suppose.
Mm.
Kill a goose.
Well,
Well, the ones they hang around nowadays all the time. They don't go south anymore.
you can't kill a Canadian goose any time of the year, though. Right now, actually, I think we're coming close to the end of duck and goose hunting season, at least here in Ontario. Maybe it's different out in the East
Don't
Coast.
you have to have a license to kill them?
Yes, you do. You have to have a license. My dad was a duck hunter, and yep, he did kill. It was rare, but he sometimes did get a Canada goose, and we ate it, and it was gross. Very gross. Whoa, yuck! I do not like goose, domestic or otherwise. We have them from Mississauga. You can take them back. They don't want to come back. You people are feeding them. So stop it. We have lots of them here. They don't go south anymore. Little suckers hang
Actually, we have
around.
a town called Wawa.
Yeah. In Philly, we have a gas station named Wawa, which is the native word for Canada Goose. Yeah, well, we have an actual town in northern Ontario called Wawa. And guess what they have? When you enter Wawa, which is, if you blink, you miss it, they have a gigantic Canada Goose statue. Like, it's huge. We've seen it. It's the only thing you will go to Wawa for. See the goose. Move on.
Actually, I met a lady that was from Wawa once.
Well, she Wawa once. Well, was that Baba Wawa from Wawa? Wawa? No. Bonnie's been there. Yep, of course you do. No different.
drove by it.
They're a nuisance yet.
1983. Drove by it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you had to because there was nothing in
Well,
there.
it's Trans-Canada Highway.
Yeah. But anyways, I think that brings us to pretty much the end of today. I don't know what next week's topic might be, but you gave me some ideas. I mean, we can talk everything about fur, shaved beaver, whatever, that kind of thing. So Precy says Wawa is USA's best gas station. Bonnie says, sorry, Precy, apologize for having that. Having what, Bonnie? Yeah, having what, Bonnie?
The name Wawa.
Wawa? Maybe. Wawa. Wawa.
Actually, I've never heard of Wawa as a gas station in the
No.
US.
I don't know. Well, whatever. Okay, so next week's topic, we don't know. Oh, next week we'll be on an hour later. I've got an art journal class. It's the first Sunday in the month. So won't be on until 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next week. And, Bonnie says, inferring the Canadian goose. It is a pest. Yes, it is
Have
a
a
pest.
happy Halloween.
A happy Halloween? Oh, yeah, it's Halloween Thursday. Yay. Oh, God, we're not even ready yet. I still got to get those razor blades and those apples. Jeez. Well, anyways. Some people didn't see this, so.
Ugh.
Okay, so. Hope everybody has a good week. We'll be on at 5 o'clock next week. So this is Matilda Mudslinger and
Glad-ass happy bum.
Gladass Happy Bum signing off. Hope you all have a good week. Have a nice happy Halloween, and we'll see you next week. And be sure to tune into my vlog when it comes on tomorrow so you can see the whole outfit because you will laugh. See you later. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.